but we've all had past, and you know, we've all had things that go wrong, because that's part of growing up. It's part of life, right? Yeah. I'd be surprised if someone's had the perfect life all the way through their life, and if they have, that's excellent, right? So, like, why would some people can either deal with it, or do they ever deal with issues that have happened earlier on? You know, we talk about trauma all the time now. It's trauma from, it's like would you say it's a bit of a catchword?
It is, but define what trauma is.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm asking you, really.
So my point is that I use my Marmite analogy, right?
Oh yeah, go on. I like Marmite.
You like Marmite, I don't.
Right.
So if you go to the store, you go to the shop, and you see Marmite, you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to it.
Right.
So what we're doing is that because the feeling drives the behaviour, doesn't mean the story didn't happen, but we're now indifferent to it. We can now use it. Great book by Neil Donald Walsh called Conversations with God. And he says to God, why all the chaos? Why all of this sort of stuff? And God turns around and says, how can you know love if you haven't known loss? How can you know success if you haven't known failure? Ed Sheeran talks about this.
Yeah.
His greatest moments were not in his successes, they were in his failures. Kobe Bryant says the same thing. We see the peak of that iceberg of success.
Yeah, there's a whole...
Below that, there's a lot of failure. And so,
decades of it, right?
And it's that hero's journey that people have to go on to be successful. But you've got to define what success is.
And so, I'll leave it right there, because you ended it nicely there.